And speaking of self-knowledge, let me just ask you to be as bitterly, candidly clear with yourself as you were before. I most enjoy negotiating, that is, getting to an agreement, or I most enjoy thinking, analyzing hard problems, or I most enjoy advocating, selling, making a case, or I most enjoy organizing, getting into the details and operationalizing, or I most enjoy inspiring, mobilizing, and energizing. Take a moment. Think about it. And most of you very much enjoy thinking and analyzing hard problems, but do you think that's because that's what you are good at and that's what you've been trained to do here at Berkeley? Many of you like organizing and getting to the details and operationalizing. Well, there's no right answer here. It's just important that you develop over time your self-knowledge of what you really deeply, deeply enjoy. And also, let's be candid, this is not going to go anywhere but here. It's not going to go to a future employer, but you are worst at saluting and respecting authority. You don't do that. You don't like to do that. You're terrible at it. Or B, getting things done on time. Or C, being patient with other people. Or D, being patient with yourself. What are you worst at? Go. Well, you're worst at all sorts of things. Okay, one more self-knowledge question. And again, not only is there no right answer here, but these are the kinds of things that you want to be asking yourself as you move through your voyage of life. The last one has to do with something I call a personality drug. Let me define a personality drug for you. A personality drug is something that you love so much you can't get enough, you have an insatiable desire for it. And secondly, it trips you up. And by tripping you up, I mean that because you can't get enough, because you need it so much, because you have an insatiable desire for it, you make bad judgments. My biggest personality drug is I want to be in control, A. Or B, I want to be the smartest person in the room. Now remember, number one, insatiable desire. Number two, trips you up, gets you in trouble. Or C, I want to be loved. Or D, I want it now. Or E, I want to be perfect. Now these are the most common personality drugs. This doesn't exhaust the list of personality drugs. These are just the most common. Again, insatiable need and gets you in trouble. Go. Well, as I read it, I want to be perfect comes out on top, but it's closely behind I want to be controlled and also I want to be loved. The reason I suggest that you know your personality drug is not because you're going to get rid of it. I mean, you could choose to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on therapy over the next 20 years, but I think there is really a much more practical reason for knowing your personality drug, and that is, you know when you're getting into situations where your vulnerability might be triggered. And try to be aware. That's what self-knowledge is all about. That's why we're talking about self-knowledge. You are great at knowledge. You are great at facts. You're great at information. You're great at analysis. But self-knowledge, I want to suggest to you, is a quest. That you will be on. Hopefully for many, many years.
Professor Reich, what's yours?
I'm not going to tell you. This was anonymous. And here is one that's very, very hard. And this has to do with Voyage of Life. But to be completely honest, I think I'll most want to look back on my life and say, I was famous and celebrated, A. Or B, I made the world a better place. Or C, I had wonderful friends and family. Go. Honest. Honest, honest, candid, honest. Okay, let's end the bidding there and let's see. Well, not many of you, and again, this is anonymous, not many of you say you want to look back on your life and think you were famous and celebrated, but a lot of you, 42%, want to make the world better, and 51%, I had a wonderful friends and family. It's all within your grasp. Well, there are no more slides. There are no more charts. There's nothing else I can give you. But I did want to say this. The reason I teach this class, the reason I've taught it for as long as I have, is very simple and very direct. I don't know if you remember, when we were first together, that first class, which seems a long time ago, I said that there are two goals I had. One goal I was very explicit with you about right at the start. I said, I want you to think more deeply about issues of inequality, of income and wealth and race. I want you to put aside your prior assumptions, and I want you to question them and be willing to question them. That was goal number one. I said I'd get to goal number two at the end. My second goal has to do with your lives. Now, there are many other things I could have done with my life and in this class other than teach. But I am with you, and I have been with you in this class because I believe in you. And by that I mean not that every one of you is going to become a president of the United States or president and prime minister of your country if you are not American. Not that every one of you is going to become a cabinet secretary. In fact, you don't need formal authority. But I believe in you to the extent that at least some of you are going to devote some of your attention and some of your time and some of your life to making the world better. I believe in your capacities. I believe in your commitment. I believe in you. Now, this is my last class at Berkeley. It's my last class forever. And I have to admit, it is very difficult for me because I love teaching and because and this is going to sound really hokey. Are you ready for the hokiest? I love you. And speaking of love, I want to ask all of your fabulous GSIs to come up on stage with me. I want to just say, I want to say something you already know. These guys work so hard and are so dedicated and care so much about you. This course could not have happened without them, and you are so indebted, as I am, to them. So, to all of you, my thanks. So, a final benediction. May your days be filled with wonder. May your lives be filled with meaning. May your work be filled with joy. And may you live long and powerful lives. Thank you.